Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
This is Bachelor Clues, the BIP VIP you see. And today what we have for you is
slam poetry.
You see, sometimes you go to BIP, sometimes you're the VIP, sometimes you're just me.
Woohoo!
Thank you. What we're about to do, it's a simple offering. We're just going to give you the top 10 takeaways from this season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise. Now, some of them are good, some of them are bad. We're going to go through it all because they're all important. That's the key. Everything that happened in this season is essentially setting the table for what this franchise will be in the coming, at least season 30 of Bachelor, potentially into the future, as Scott Teti is now at the helm. Before we get into that, however, we must remind you right now on our Patreon, shit is popping off. We are watching Love is Blind UK season 2 in Casa Gore. You can watch it with us. But perhaps more importantly, Love is Blind season 10, I think, or is it 9?
10.
It's 10.
Dang.
10, I think, is coming out in October, early October, and we're going to be power binging that shit as fast as we can possibly get it out. We're kind of taking our time with the UK season.
The UK, we've been, going through slowly, just recording whenever our splen tells us to. But you should know up right now that we recorded this weekend is we did a live watch along to the reunion of BIP season 10. On Casa Gore, and that is something to behold.
You ain't never seen a reunion done like this. That much I can guarantee ye. I mean, I'm still trying to put together what it actually was, what we witnessed, how it could have been made in the way it was.
It's on our list, so we'll discuss it.
You're
it's
right.
in our takeaways.
Let me wait until we get to that on our list.
Yeah.
But please join us on Patreon. We do have a lot happening there, and there's going to be essentially like once this Love is Blind season happens, we're going to be going right into Traders is coming out, I believe, in January. So I'll be watching that in Clues Corner. Maybe we'll do it in Casa Gore. I'm not sure. You tell me.
If it's early January, probs not.
You're right. Sorry.
I've got something coming up in December. It's going to take me out for a little bit.
You should bring your child. Force your child to watch all these reality shows at age 0.
Yeah. No Miss Rachel for you. You get Dark Lord coming.
This is the first pit, baby.
Yeah. Hope it's a good one. By the way, my tot today, you might notice I'm wearing brown/tan. This is in honor of Wells Adams' reunion outfit. This was as close as I could get to his safari 3/4 length shirt.
And you might notice I'm wearing a caved in kind of dad style baseball cap. This is the official Bachelor Nation VIP hat that I bought in the official Bachelor Nation merch store. Very well made, beautiful color, holds its form well.
What color would you say that is?
Yellow?
Yellow, off-white.
What color is it?
It's not a good one.
It's like tan, I guess, or brown?
Yeah.
Yellow? I don't know.
It's not my first choice of color. It's no fuchsia, as Brian would say.
But isn't this fuchsia? Isn't the letter fuchsia?
Yeah, those are like dark pink.
That's why he chose it as his favorite color.
Ooh, to sell merch.
I just can't it's terrible. All right.
Anyway, that's the end of our business. Come check us out, patreon.com/Game of Roses. We have not let up. We thought maybe it would let up once Love Island ended. No. The pit provides.
There's always things to watch. And we watch them all. Now, we are, by the way, we should mention also at the end of this episode, we are going to be giving out our season-long awards. That's Play of the Season, Error of the Season, Creature of the Season, Faceplay of the Season, Jorge Moreno Bystander of the Season, and MVP of the season. So stick around to the end of this episode for all of those. But now, let's jump into the space case. Oh,
Clues
sorry.
is watching Are You My First in Clues Corner as well.
Which, by the way, I just want to, for all of you out there, I'm only 2 episodes in, but I am savoring it. There's a good show here. It's got a good premise. All these virgins, awkwardly meandering through these conversations and wondering if they're going to have their first sex with one of these people.
A good premise. All these virgins is just the pitch.
The cast is really good. The virgins they chose are like, they're really funny. They're smart. They're engaging. You've got Mikey Planeta from Bachelorette season 17. That was Katie Thurston's season. He was the virgin on that season.
Caitlin Bristow, the one true goat, hosting.
Let's leave the hosts out of this for now.
Okay.
The good part of the show is not the hosts. That's the real bad part of the show. Caitlin Bristow is better at it than is Colton Underwood. They are both not good at it. And I'm not sure it's necessarily even their fault. They're being asked to do some things that are like not great. But taking all that aside, the kind of framework around the show is terrible. The show itself, at its core, is a really fucking solid dating format. They just need to strip away the things they think they need, which are like Ian Sterling-esque kind of, joke commentary by the hosts at every scene's intro and exit. And it just doesn't work because the jokes are always at the expense of the players. It makes them sound stupid and look dumb. And that doesn't even work. It actually kind of backfires and makes the producers look stupid.
And how are you going to cast season 2 if you're making everyone look like shit?
Have you been watching Clues Corner?
No.
I said the exact same thing.
I am going to watch it though, because you've pitched it well. I'm curious.
It's just a good little show. And I don't know if it was successful enough for Hulu that they would do a season 2 or not. I literally don't know. But it's just like it's a good little show that I think the producers thought they had to do too much to make it like Love Island. Well, they've got jokes on Love Island. And I'll tell you this too. I know I shit on Ian Sterling when we were doing our Casagor of Love Island.
Mm-hmm.
That man's a god. After watching Colton Underwood and Caitlin Bristow try to do what he does, it's like, no, the guy's doing that at the highest level possible.
Wowie.
Because they're terrible. No offense.
This is a remarkable shift in take on our Ian Sterling.
Sometimes all you need is a little comparison to know what you got is real good. All right. Speaking of,
let's get into our top 10 takeaways from BIP season 10.
Coming in at number 11. We have to have 11. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
This one it needed to be on the list.
I agree. I almost put this. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. Please go ahead. PaceCase.
We got our first season of Dale Moss play. Well, we saw him play on Claire Crawley's season better than anyone has ever done in the entire history of the show. Blew up the Bachelorette. Mm-hmm. He was perhaps not as engaging as we might have thought he would be. We saw some bad play from him. Mm-hmm. He was yelling at the birds at one point. He overused his catchphrase, deaded it at certain times. However, I would say he brought his arc back around by the end, especially at the reunion, and seemed like a 4TRR support system for Kat. And
totally. Here's the thing, though. His
not going to be our next
style,
Bachelor.
No one from Bachelor Nation is going to be. I'm almost positive it's somebody from the player pool that was supposed to be Bachelorette this year that never happened. They're just going to pull one of those guys, I think.
Matt James.
Was he supposed to be on that season? What? I don't think so.
No, but he was pulled from a future Bachelorette pool.
Something like that. But I think they're also just like broadly looking through the casting piles of any guys who have sent in resumes. At any rate, I wanted to say about this Dale Moss thing. I still don't feel like I've gotten to see him play. Real play in our beloved game, in my opinion, always has to start in a rookie season where you're on a Bachelor or Bachelorette, where you're vying against, 20 to 30 other players for the affection of one lead. We never got to see him do that.
He had no competition. I mean,
in Claire Crawley's season?
On this season. I mean, Jonathan for like a moment.
his play style doesn't. He's playing quiet confidence. We've seen this play style work for a lot of different players in a lot of different seasons. It's hard to pull off. You have to be very good looking. He is. In Bachelor in Paradise, that style doesn't really apply because Qui-Con it's a comparative style. It's like when the lead is looking at all the various players, there's going to be the loud one, the funny one, the whatever, the this, the that. Qui-Con is, I can just sit in a corner or I can be on a group date. I don't have to say fucking anything. No. I'm taller than all these other guys. I'm better looking than all these other guys. I'll beat them all in an athletic competition. And that's it. It's basically like an implicit demonstration of higher value. In Paradise, that doesn't work because there's not one lead making the choice. It's like, you just kind of partner with whoever you partner with. I think Kat Izzo was like, he's the most famous guy and the best looking guy. I'm partnering with him. And that was it. That was the end of it. So you didn't really get to see him have to play against other players at all. And that's really what my curiosity will not be satiated until I see him do that.
On another season.
Yeah, something.
Maybe next
or another game.
Season.
Maybe he'll go on season 2 of Are You My First?
DM a virgin? Dolly? Come on now.
Well, they're gonna have to switch up the format for season 2 of Are You My First? Maybe they drop Dale Moss into a bunch of virgins. You see.
Just let him feast.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Season 2, Moss feasts. Dale Moss is hungry and we've got a smorgasbord of virgins.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, I gotta say, he had his good moments. I was disappointed. I had the highest hopes and expectations for him that you possibly could have.
Same.
For a player. But I hope you're right that we'll see him on another season.
Of something. I just feel like his reality star potential is still there.
Yeah.
And it just was like, this Bachelor in Paradise is not a good rookie season because there's we don't have much kind of backstory for him in terms of play. We obviously know that he did what he did in Bachelor season 16, crashed the season or broke it or whatever. But that was largely due to his parasocial presence. Claire Crawley fell in love with him on Instagram. And then when he walked out of the limo, it was like the game was over. We never got to see him play. So we don't have any context.
He had one mirror PTC and it was done.
Yeah. And it doesn't there's no backstory that he's bringing to Paradise. Like all the other players had for the most part, other than some night one type players and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like there's more to Dale Moss to be done in television. And I'm here for it. I want to see it. I don't feel satisfied by this season of Bachelor in Paradise.
No.
In terms of the Moss factor.
And it wasn't even a traditional Bachelor in Paradise season. It was there were no love triangles. Everyone was pretty much in a couple the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, really, we'll get to this later on the list, but the star of the season was the horrible format. There, nobody kind of became more important than what are we watching? That was the overbearing presence that I think made the identity of this entire season. It won't be remembered for any of these players. 2 of them got fucking engaged.
Certainly was the overwhelming presence during the reunion.
God almighty, that's on our list as
what's
well.
On our number 10?
Our number 10. Now we're into the top 10 finally. Yeah. Our number 10 top 10 takeaway is the Bachelor Nation cruise. This was something that was teased on the official Bachelor Nation Instagram that there was going to be a big announcement. It showed some waves or whatever. And then in this last episode of BIP, Jesse Palmer revealed there's going to be this Bachelor Nation cruise with a bunch of Bachelor All-Stars showing up on it. This is next November, 2026. It's going to have the Sutters. It's going to have the Lows. I want to say Charity and Dotun. Were they on it?
Uh-huh.
Charity and Dotun.
Grant, Kelsey,
Tyler Cameron.
The Gazeman, Joey Grazi.
Hannah Brown,
Sandra, Kathy,
just giant. Chuck Chappell. How could I forget? I'm going on that cruise. I need to find my treasures in the sea. I can't believe the amount of people they have and the quality of people.
I know.
I mean, it's astounding to me. Now, all of that said, why are they doing this?
It is amongst the decisions by the franchise that has just confused me the most that's the number one way I can describe it, as very odd. It is such an odd time to be doing this at a time where you are, not to keep bringing up the reunion, but you're not even doing a reunion on TV. You're doing it as a podcast that's on YouTube. Like, you would think you would do this at the height, or at least some peak of Bachelor fandom.
Yes.
Not at the precipice that we have been finding ourselves at, where Bachelor's barely picked up.
Yes. At best, the nation right now is in what I would call a rebuilding phase. This happens in pro sports all the time, where some super good team in whatever the sport may be, some guys retire or they get traded and the whole roster gets like fucked with a little bit, and they go into a rebuilding phase, and nobody expects them to win.
Steroids.
No, that's what you want. That's when you're at the height of the game, is when everybody's doing steroids.
I imagine they had to rebuild after that.
Who did?
Baseball.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm just saying that the fandom of Bachelor Nation right now is it couldn't be more disengaged. We're coming off of a season 10 of Bachelor in Paradise that universally no one liked and got very bad ratings. We are going into a season of Golden Bachelor season 2 that already people are very vocal about boycotting because they kept Mel Owens as the Bachelor after he said all this shit about not wanting to date basically women his own age on this podcast he went on. He's
actively booed on one of the one-on-one dates he's going on. Yeah. We have that information. So it's not good. It seems
strange. But the roster is stacked, and the company that's doing the cruise does a bunch of these cruises. There is a chance, I think, that this becomes Talking Stick Resort Part 2 and they cancel it. That is on the table for sure if they don't sell enough tickets. But I don't know. I have a feeling that they will. I have a feeling that this will work.
I want to know so badly how much, if at all, they are paying these players. Because like Tyler Cameron, Hannah Brown, they're not doing this without getting paid.
That's right.
Maybe some of the players are doing it for free, just for a free cruise. I don't know.
I don't think the Sutters got paid $1 million for their televised wedding.
Right.
They don't do shit for free. I don't think the Lows do either. Like, you remember on Zach Shellcrank's season when they brought back Sean Lowe to kids. Exactly. I don't
leave your kids or allow your kids to be feasted upon by the nation.
I agree with you. I think they're getting paid. How much, we don't know, but that is our number 10 top 10 takeaway is Bachelor Nation. The powers that be have decided to launch a cruise at conceivably the worst time in the fandom of Bachelor ever since its inception.
Yep. Set it up.
Indeed.
Number 9 top takeaway from this season of BIP is no Bachelor Nation stars made it past the 3rd episode. They fumbled. Heavy hitters such as Susie, such as Justin, such as Lexi, had them all go home very early on. I blame the third audience for this. Like, Susie should have been first stand. They should have done anything they could to keep Susie and Justin on this entire season, have them date people parallel to each other. Two different, you could follow that storyline the whole season. Doesn't make sense at all. But also, we have a whole new production staff. Maybe they don't know as much who are the big players. I don't know.
I can tell you exactly what happened here. It's clear as day to me.
Oh, tell me.
From looking at the document.
From the toilet? Oh.
I was there. I was in the toilets.
Yeah.
I was in the trenches. This is, I don't know this for sure, but like, I'm pretty certain this is what happened. They say, oh, Susie and Justin dated outside the show. We got to have them come. That'll be a big blow up, blah, blah, blah. How do we do it? Okay. Put one of them there first. They choose Glaze. He's there. He's engaged in this relationship. with Lexi, the biggest kind of component of that relationship is she's worried that he's not over his ex, Susie Evans, who obviously she knows Susie Evans is a fucking star in the Bachelor world. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows who she is. So you're already kind of threatened by like, oh, he was dating a bigger player. They use that and they say, now we'll send in Susie and this is going to explode. Instead, all of those players, because they've been through this before. Susie had to survive season 26 of the fucking Bachelor. Are you kidding me? And you think Scott Teddy's going to come in here with a little love triangle he tried to brew up and be like, we're going to get her in a crazy trap and she'll have a Rivers breakdown. It's like, no, motherfucker. She just walks. She don't need this. Glaze does the same thing.
She's famous for walking. That's
exactly.
her big move.
What do you think Susie will do? Exactly what she did before.
Yeah.
Glaze walks as well. Lexi walks as well. So this carefully built love triangle you thought was going to sustain probably the first half of a season, gone in an episode. It is producing it's a fundamentally mistaken producing strategy. And this manufactured love triangle thing is like a tried and true producer thing. They do it in Bachelor in Paradise literally every year. There's a love triangle set up on day one that comes to some kind of culmination. It's just unnecessary. And I think this season finally really revealed that not only is it unnecessary, it's detrimental to the season. Losing those players that early, the steam just goes out of the show. Who cares? You know?
And part of this was so unforced, which is they did these massive cuts on all of the first few episodes where they would send home like 3 or 4 people each episode. Yep. And it's like, there's absolutely no reason to do this.
I completely agree with you. Yes. And it that kind of like piece of this, I think, has to do with the money angle, which we're going to get to later. Mm-hmm. But there's like a certain kind of mechanical structure that has to take place to get it carved down to like the couples by episode whatever. Yeah. So that they can then have the couples facing off as groups to, you know, vie for the money or whatever. I think that was a part of it. But this attitude basically of self-elimination didn't used to exist like this in Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
But what really came through to me when these 3 players left all together simultaneously was, fuck this show, fuck these people. They're trying to fuck with us, so we're out. Yeah. And I think that sentiment now is just baked into the player base of Bachelor Nation. And I think it's going to keep echoing through every season that they try to do something like this.
They don't need, like, they're not getting the gains that BIP players used to get. They don't need to stay. Like, they're what, for the per diem? Like, there's not the same incentive that they used to have before. And again, it's like, treat your stars like stars.
Yes.
Don't try to torture them out of being in the show.
Yeah, that's what I just don't understand. Like, I don't know if it's still like this old school mentality of reality TV producers that are like, we fucking manipulate these subjects in quotes. Yeah. That's what they call the players.
These stupid idiots.
Yeah. And it's just like, we're going to fuck them over and do all this. It's like, no, they're the reason we're watching. They're the stars of this. They are more important than any talent. Producer ever will be. You have to put them on a pedestal. You have to show them in a good light. You have to make us want good things for them.
We could have then also seen like a cute dynamic duo between Justin Glaze and Andrew Spencer. Like, we know that they're BFFs. Yes. Like, there's so much that we missed because of this. And then we're left with, you know, I couldn't believe how much we were following Parisa and Brian, for instance. I was like, wait, what, Brian?
The miscalculation of all of it. So you have like Parisa and Brian become like an A couple at this point, but your real focused couple, well, let's just get to it. Our number 8 top 10 takeaway is that it was actually kind of successful this season on the romantic side. Mm-hmm. We had a real engagement between Jess and Spencer. Jeremy and Bailey are supposedly still together. Dale and Kat are supposedly still together. No red wedding of 3 days after the watch back, like in season 9, when all of the couples that were engaged ended their engagement simultaneously on Instagram 3 business days after the airing of the final episode.
Nope, we didn't get that.
We did not. But I will say this. if you're putting up Spencer and Jess to be basically the most successful couple of the season, they were the first to kind of match very early on. As soon as they did that, as soon as they locked off or closed off, as you would say in Love Island, they disappeared them from the show.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, what am I watching here? Do you want us to be happy for the couples that are like finding actual love? If you want that, then we have to see them from time to time in the television program. Otherwise, we don't know what's happening with them. But they removed them in service of focusing on the love triangle with Glaze and Susie Evans, which imploded. And now we don't know where Jess and Spencer have been. So by the time we get to the end of the show, we kind of haven't seen a lot of their love story.
Yeah.
And we don't, the engagement is like meaningless on top of we'll get to the money thing in a minute, but like it was just, even though successful in terms of bringing couples together, you didn't get that vibe. They didn't present the romance element of this in a way that was satisfying, I felt like.
They just put a clip on Instagram of Jess doing a like MTV Cribs style welcome to my crib of the tent on the camping episode. And it was so cute. And Spencer comes in at the end and I'm like, where was this? They only wanted to show us Kat being tortured.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I get they're not maybe the most like dynamic couple to be watching, but if you're narratively building to this point where they're the only engagement, we got to see more of them.
Agreed.
We're finally here. Our number 7 top takeaway from this season of BIP was the podcast reunion. Was it the best episode of the season?
No.
There were, it was terrible quality all around. The sound, the lighting, the Dark Lording was atrocious. There was some positives. It felt a little bit less restricted than when it's on network TV. We got to see people swearing, which I enjoyed. Wells kind of faded to the background as a Dark Lord. Just kind of asked his questions and then just kind of watched what was happening. Additionally, shitting on his job as the bartender in the first few moments of the show. I'm just like, you don't have to be doing this though. Like
he has a problem with like what he believes to be self-deprecating humor. And this is an old way of thinking about reality TV, that this is all dumb and stupid and fuck it. And reality TV is just like frivolous bullshit. And everybody here is a fucking idiot. Well, then why am I watching it?
Yeah.
That attitude, it's just old. It's done. It's very antiquated. And the idea, I think, of we torture these stupid rubes who we've convinced to come into our web of lies. That is just, it's from a different era. It's like Jerry Springer type shit.
Yeah.
And it cannot be that way anymore. The people watching these shows, of which you and I are too, love these shows. We have devoted a significant portion of our life to the study of these shows, to the examination of them. And I think a lot of people have, even if you're watching casually. What I would consider casual, not writing books about it and making spreadsheets and all this kind of shit. Even if you're not doing that, if you are devoting some portion of your life to it, even an hour a night where you're watching some reality show,
media,
all of that. It's like this, the level of engagement of fans, and you should know this from Love Island Season 7 USA. You being the producers of Bachelor. The engagement level is so high. We take this shit as seriously as like Stephen A. Smith takes sports. Do people make fun of him or think that his pursuits in life are fucking frivolous or stupid? No, they pay him tens of millions of dollars to talk about it on ESPN. So I just don't get that attitude anymore. I don't think it has a place in modern Bachelor, but Wells Adams seems to live in that attitude. Like that's all he has. And so
he
to have a
calls them
host that
stupid
way,
idiots.
yeah,
He's complaining about his job on the show constantly, wanting it to be over, etc. The reunion was so chaotic. I happened upon a TikTok by She's All Batch in which they play just a clip, because we watched it on YouTube. So we had a different experience from people who listened to the podcast earlier in the week. She plays a clip from the podcast and it's just like there's 16 people talking. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot even imagine trying to experience that in audio format only.
Oh God. I mean, the technical issues that the reunion had were several. And it, again, just goes to like the idea that there is no respect given to the product by the people making the product. It seemed, at least from like what we saw and heard, very last minute, the idea that you could have however many people were on that stage, 16 roughly, with each one of them having a microphone that seemingly was having to be manually mixed in the moment. The air conditioner is on and some of it, there's loud crackling. Like, there are a bunch of technical issues with it that, to me, just kind of revealed like they didn't even do like a dry run of trying to get all the mics set up. They just were like, fuck it, go in and shoot it.
Some of the people had to hold their own mics, and then they're like talking and moving, so you can sometimes hear their audio. Yeah. Keith looked like he was gonna fall off the stage. Like, they're so crammed in.
All that said, let me quickly. I'm going to go to youtube.com. I'm gonna see how many views it has right now.
Oh, I'm so curious.
Let's see here. Right now, that old reunion is at 229K views. It's been out for 2 days. That ain't bad.
Okay. It was at 20K when we watched it.
Yeah, that ain't bad. I don't know if this gets up to like the regular show is getting around 1.2 to 1.4 million views or viewers during its Nielsen run, like on live TV. Will this get up to that? I don't know. But
that's more than I thought it would get.
Yeah, me too. That's actually pretty good.
Kathy was a highlight from it for me.
Oh, she was hilarious.
Alicia was also a highlight. She got a lot of talking time while also being on her phone half the time, which is included in the shots.
Yeah, she's just in the background fucking furiously ordering pizzas or something. I don't know. All right, let's move on to our number 6 top 10 takeaway is Hannah the Beast Brown. When they announced she was going to be coming in to do the show and be kind of like another Wellesian figure, you know, there to help facilitate and do whatever. And she was going to have like a champagne lounge or something, which we never really saw.
No,
when they first announced her, what's that?
We saw her pour champagne a couple of times.
We did see her pour a little bit.
0.5 seconds.
When they announced her as being a part of this, I was like, finally. I really thought it was a great sign that the incoming producer, Scott Teti and his crew, understood the value of Bachelor Nation luminaries to have the biggest stars you can from the nation present and part of this production. Unfortunately, after watching the season, you see that they don't understand that at all, because Hannah Brown is basically removed from the entire season.
Like,
I didn't understand it at all.
As if some terrible video of her had surfaced online and they were trying to cut her out of the season.
Yeah.
That is the edit that she got. And we do see this one girl chat that she runs with the female players at one point, and it was great. And I was like, why was there not more of this? Why was she not involved in the challenges? Why was she not talking to people one-on-one and bringing up her season and like reminding us of like the lore? And that's something that we talk about a lot, which is that the advantage of being Bachelor, even though it's behind in all these ways, is it has this long legacy. And when they honor the legacy, they honor the fans. And like, I don't know, we're only 2 examples, but we love it.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's others.
She's also we recently did a rewatch of her entire season in Casa Gore, which is on our Patreon if you want to check that out. That season, this is Bachelorette 15. I can't even like put into words how incredible it is, how amazing she was as a lead, how insane that roster was. You had fucking Pilot Pete going against Tyler Camp. Like, everybody was in that season. Even Luke Parker, who, you know, was a huge villain and in the end made some of the worst errors in the history of the entire franchise. Up until that point, he was playing out of his ass. I've never seen such a thing. He could turn on a dime. He did that early level before. Anyway, I could go on forever about that season. But you get why she is kind of a singular talent. You get why she has more Instagram followers than anybody else in the history of Bachelor, because she is amazing and she is just not used. You've hired her for this season and you're not using that talent. Why? I will never understand it.
It's the same with like protect your players, protect your leads, like protect Hannah Brown. Give her some good comedic bits and stuff that she'll and like make her feel good about her participation in the show. If I were her watching that back, I'd be like, Jesus, what was the point of me even going there?
Totally.
I'm not in it. You're not going to want to promote that on your Instagram, where you have the most Instagram followers of anyone from the show ever.
But there's also kind of like this jokey tone to her presence there, as well as Wells. They're wearing like, you know, little khaki kind of like pool person outfits, you know, like that they're staff that work there. And then you juxtapose that with like what they do with Ariana Maddox on Love Island. It's like, that's what they should have been doing with Hannah Brown.
Yes.
Why aren't they doing that? They have them wearing hats like I'm fucking wearing. Come on, guys, we gotta go stab some knives in the back of these straw dummies now. Huh? It's Hannah Brown.
I'm just here to introduce you to Dark Lord Palmer, what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just a drastic error. And this is producing. The decisions that are made to either cut her out of the episodes or not give her enough screen time, whatever the case may be, to not use her correctly, comes from the producers. And it doesn't give me hope. It doesn't give me good feelings about where the franchise is headed. If you have Hannah Brown in your season of Bachelor in Paradise in any capacity, and this is how you used her.
Something that was good was our number 5 takeaway from this season. We had a new location. We left those dirty day beds in Mexico. We come to everybody has their own room. There's a nice pool. They emphasize that there's air conditioning. We have players kind of getting their own rooms, but having roommates, but unclear whether or not they get to partner with their couples. They should be partnering with their couples.
Later in the season, they did. We heard that on the reunion. I forget who it was. Somebody said they went from sleeping with whoever their roommate was in the same room to sleeping with their, maybe it was Bailey talking about with Jeremy. I don't remember exactly who it was, but we got some kind of confirmation at the reunion that indeed the couples are sleeping together.
We had this short-lived BIP VIP suite for 2 episodes, replacing the Boom Boom room, which was never utilized except for Ashley and Jared Iaconetti, as well as what's her face, who fake used the vibrator as a bit in the Boom Boom room.
Oh God, that was shit. What's her goddamn name? I can see her so clearly in my head. It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
I mean, I think the couples should be in their rooms as much as possible. Film them, record them. Like, those are interesting things. That is an interesting part of Love Island, is when they get that like separate time in their own beds and they have those more intimate conversations.
Totally. I will say I loved the new location and the new look, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I do think there were some things that were done well here that needed to be done to refresh this franchise. And the new location was one of them. I love that they each get their own room. Now, that said, it still is just like a hotel room. They're not operating at the level of a Love Island where it's like, that place looks phenomenal. It looks like it was built specifically for them to come there and have a good time and all this type of shit. This is just like some hotel. That's better than making them sleep. Like, it wasn't Andrew Spencer had a fucking python coming out of the ceiling in BIP 8 or 9, whatever season that was. So it's not like that bad, but it's not like the highest level of quality. It's just better than it used to be. I also think the BIP VIP suite is like, it just didn't work. Even in the telling of it, when DOP comes out, Dark Lord Palmer, that's Jesse Palmer, when he comes out and is like, and we've got a new thing. It's called the BIP VIP suite. He even makes some kind of self-deprecating joke about how that's a bad name. It's like, well, then don't call it that. You give it a good name, and that's then what we call it, and everybody likes it. And it's also kind of a diminishing of the idea that at some point you're going to be having sex on this show. That step being taken is a huge part of any dating show. It's like, has the couple had sex yet or not? Fantasy suites. It's literally baked into the fucking main game of Bachelor. And here it gets diminished into essentially nothing. We never really know what happened in there or how it went.
Did anyone have sex?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Oh God, I almost had her name.
I'm literally Googling it now.
I can see her.
It's because they went through Sally Carson's suitcase. God.
It'll come to me.
Lace Morris.
That ain't it. It'll come to me.
Stumbled upon the suitcase and grabbed Genevieve Jilchin, Hunter Haig, and Sierra Jackson. Jill unzips the suitcase. They dump him on the ground. Oh, they mess with her hair extension. Oh my God. This is
you remember that?
So wild. Then they play with the vibrator. Where's the...
Oh my God. It just came and fled from my head. It just came and fled. Oh my God. It's killing me. We have to move on. As you're
I'm going to get it.
Our number 4.
Kira Mengistu. Sorry, Kira.
There it is. Our number 4 top 10 takeaway is the Goldens were in paradise for the first time. I have to say, we didn't know how they were going to use them. We didn't know if there was going to be crossover. We saw a couple of, romantic crossover. We saw a couple of body shots being done, crossing that line or whatever. We saw a rose being given to Jonathan to keep him around by producers, but given through a Golden. April, the cat lady. I loved the Goldens there. Yep. I think they just added an element to it that was very interesting. And I thought of all the things that they tried this season that were just kind of thrown at the wall to see what works, I thought this one did. I would love to see Goldens in every paradise. They add like an element of, there's kind of a paternal thing going on a little bit, but it's also like, they're just fun and funny. Like they're way more fun and funnier than any of the young players. So I would say have at least a couple of Goldens in every goddamn season if you can.
They got rid of them too early and 100%. And cut them out of the show. The Goldens in Paradise for me was probably the highlight of the season. Yeah. I loved it.
This is what I would have done for the mechanics and the money prize and stuff. Because you never thought that the Goldens were going to make it all the way to the end. I literally never thought that. I was like, oh, they'll just get rid of them and like carve them out. And then it's like Bachelor in Paradise, kind of normal for when they get to the money part or whatever the end of it's going to be. Since they put in that money mechanic, I would have had, there are going to be 2 couples in the end that vie for the money, a young and a golden. And then it's like, you're guaranteed to have at least one golden couple in the finale.
I mean, I wanted Kathy in every single scene. So our number 3 top takeaway from this season of Bachelor in Paradise is the bad game mechanics. A lot of them seemed slopped together. A lot of them seemed low budge. We're talking about the Vegas game where Dark Lord Palmer was sitting at a table and there were coasters and we weren't sure what we were following. We have the Survivor style games. We have what I thought was like initially a good idea, the camping overnight date turned out to be full of pranks and shit.
Yeah.
And bugs.
Made no sense whatsoever. And then they don't even have to sleep there.
No.
Like, isn't that the whole point of it? The camping is you have to put together your tent in these hostile environments and then you have to sleep there. That's the camping
Sleep
part.
there. You don't need to, you don't need to fuck with the tools. There's no, all of the camping is hard and like those problems will come out naturally. You don't need to make it harder. Yeah. Also the voting, the dirty iPad. Oh God. Every time I saw the iPad, I hated it.
But also like the presentation of these things, I thought was bad. Like the Vegas one where they have to bet with the little cardboard drink coasters made to look like poker chips. There's a point at which the bets are all based on like them asking some kind of question about how many times does your partner want to have sex in a day or whatever, and you have to bet, is it over or under this number? So already it's like a confusing betting thing. You're not asking the person to give that number. You're asking them to bet whether they think it's over or under an arbitrary number the producers have decided on. So it's already confused. Then they've done so much of it that they have to condense it in time into this like bizarre montage of just floating numbers on the screen and people laughing or going, oh. It was just terribly.
Just noises.
Yeah. You have no idea. There's no way to chart who's in the lead in any of these games until they just tell you in the end, you won, you lost. All right, moving on. I didn't like any of the challenges, any of the games in the way that they were presented. They also seemed to have almost nothing to do with like the relationships or anything. Some of them kind of did. The Survivor one in the end where they're holding the rope, at least they were both made to stand together on a pedestal and engage in like this physical hard thing to do together.
And that is one of my favorite Survivor type games is the like Outlast type things where you just gotta hold on. Almost my error of the season came from the poker chip game. Gary saying that Leslie Fema wanted to have sex 5 times a day.
Mine might have come from that. Was it 5 times a day or 5 times a week?
No, it wasn't 5 times a day.
I think it was in a week or something.
But it was a lot.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about this in the recaps from time to time. I don't know that the games are like necessarily Scott Teddy's fault. Ultimately, like it is because you're running the show. Like you are the one in charge of all of this. But I do think there were some things foisted upon him from the studio and network that he didn't have much of a choice in. But the studio network is not saying, we want you to have a Las Vegas date where you have poker chips that are beer coasters. They're not saying that. They're saying, we need there to be challenges. Now it's up to you to figure out what they are.
$500 budget.
No, but I mean, that's a showrunner's job is like, here's the budget per episode. Figure out how to use it. That's your job. And so his decision was the beer coaster poker chips and these dumb challenges. And here's how we're going to shoot them and edit them. I don't get like a lot of confidence from that. And that skill set is necessary in the main game in season 30. I know it's a completely different format, but still, you're going to have to shoot group dates where those players are competing against each other in some kind of challenge, be it an obstacle course or a tackle football game or whatever the thing may be, hitting each other in the head with baseball bats. I don't know. But you're going to have to shoot that. And you're going to have to figure out how the mechanics of those little mini games work. And this doesn't give me a lot of confidence after seeing what happened in BIP 10.
And you have to time them well, like the circle in the round of like, oh, you're secretly compatible, or the tent where it was like, oh, you get to secretly kiss. Like they were timed poorly. So it was like no one was going to pivot from their partners.
Yes, I agree. Moving on to our number 2 top 10 takeaway. This is a big one. That money, that cash, that Skrilla, that resource, that dinero, that bag, that cheese, that cheddar. That
coin?
Paper money, that coin, that fiat currency. Okay.
Dead it.
At some point in the middle of this season, they begin teasing that there's $500,000 on the line. Let's just start right there. What would your
at it?
What's that?
A chance at 500.
A chance. But they don't start the season that way. I don't remember what episode DOP comes out and says. It's like episode 4 or something, 5 maybe. He comes out and says, oh, by the way, there's this $500,000 thing. And immediately the tone of the show changes a little bit. Now it's this game show. Why do you think they withheld that information until halfway through the season?
To try to make it seem more for TRR in the couples. Like, oh, we got 4 TRR couples and then we're going to test them. As opposed to like people strategizing of like which couple would help them win the money.
They didn't.
I don't know, but they put it in the promo for every single episode. So it was like we were just waiting for it all season.
Yes. What you're saying though is like once they revealed the $500,000, there were still people trying to like figure out what couple they were in. So it would have been more interesting to me if they were like, okay, if you're single, you're out now, and you're locked into your couple, and here's the deal: it's $500,000 on the line. All the couples are fighting against each other. It's a different show. Fine, but it wasn't that. It was like drizzled in while people were still dating and shit. It just wasn't done well, I think. I also think the idea of having a $500,000 prize is antithetical to Paradise, to the Bachelor franchise. There are other games that are like this. Perfect Match is like this. Love Island is like this. And it's there from the beginning. You know that that's on the table. So there's always this kind of implicit question about like, are these people here for the right reasons, or are they just here for the fucking money? And that's fine. That's baked into the premise of those shows. Bachelor in Paradise is not that. And it felt very much to me like a kind of pale reflection of when they tried to steal Casa Amor from Love Island at the split week at the Estates, and it bombed. This was the same thing to me.
This was very split week at the Estates. I'm like, maybe they thought couples wouldn't pivot as much if they thought there was a money prize or something. I don't know why they introduced it so late. I just like they getting rid of so many people each round leading up to it. Like what you're saying makes sense to me, of like, now you have to couple up and the singles are gone, and there can be like one red wedding episode. But then it was like, there's a chance at the money. And then it was like, oh, there's either one couple in the finale or two getting a chance at the money. And then it's, oh, you lose your guarantee, even though it's not a guarantee at the money in the finale. And then, oh, pick from these 3 random envelopes. It was very like, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
Totally. That was clear. The weird kind of diminishing of like, okay, it's $500,000. Now there's 2 couples, so you'll split it. Actually, each couple now has to choose a random envelope that has a different arbitrary amount of that money in it. Huh? Like, why did Spencer and Jess get 190 and
Alex and Andrew
got, would they get 130 or 125
something
or whatever?
Like that?
It's like, it makes no sense.
No, they should have just given them the money anyway. $250.
Correct.
You're not saving that much by taking off $60K of it.
What are you talking about? That's what they paid Tyler Cameron to go on that cruise.
Oh my God. They had to save the money
for
the
cruise money. Yeah. Teddy gets some late night email from Warner Brothers. Hey, we're going to do this Bachelor cruise thing. Somehow you got to save $60,000. We got to pay Tyler Cameron. Oh, fuck. What do we do? 3 red envelopes, carve down the fucking prize money. It was all just done. It was extremely confusing. And perhaps the worst part of it is it invalidated the proposal. That was like an afterthought tacked onto the end of the finale. They do the money thing, they celebrate, and then Spencer's like, oh, and by the way, Jess, will you marry me? Yes. Huh? That's the narrative end of every season of Bachelor. That's the most important thing. And here it was like just a shitty second, kind of like, oh yeah, and they're getting married too. I forgot.
Yeah. And there wasn't really a real question of whether the people were going to quote unquote take the money or not. And if you wanted that, you should have kept Jeremy and Bailey, obviously, because they said they would have gone with the strategy that you proposed of take the money, still stay together. Well,
that too. It's like the money mechanic is so easy to fucking manipulate. You simply say, I'll take the money. You make it look on TV, whatever. Like, I'm sure they would cut that to make you the villain. And then the villain gets $500,000. And at least in the kind of like narrative of the show, if you have a couple where one of them says, I'll take the money, and the other one says, I want the love, the person who says, I'll take the money gets rewarded. The person who says, I'll take the love gets heartbroken and no money. So the villain wins, at least narratively. But then after the show, you just keep dating and split the money.
They have this problem in Love Island too. No one ever takes the money. Bachelor Pad, they got one season where the guy took the money and he was super villainized.
Yeah, I think in all these shows, always take the money and then just get back together immediately after. Literally celebrate on camera together. Oh my God, we just got $500,000. Well, no, but because he took the money and you took no, you can't. Yeah, we can. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's our money. Fuck you. Pay me. It's just so stupid.
It's the evolution of the false stakes that they used to have in BIP, which was break up, get engaged, or break up forever. And it's like, well, no, there's many other clear options.
Totally. Look at like Abigail Harringer and young Noah Erb. They forced them to break up after that prom thing, and they're
Becca
fucking. Are they married now? They're at least engaged and living together.
Yeah, they got married. Yeah.
It's
they
just
live
so
in like Oklahoma or something.
But this all goes
Becca
back
and
to
Thomas got engaged, got married.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
have a kid.
This just all goes back to what I was talking about earlier. The adherence to these dumb fucking plot lines about love triangles and forced breakups and all this that they think are necessary for the show. And it's like, how many times can we watch a couple forced to break up on screen to see them get married and still believe that any of the shit you're making in the show is real?
If the ring budget is the problem, switch ring demons. Sorry, just get cheaper rings.
Damn.
That in my mind is the reason that they did that, was they were like, well, we can only have 3 couples get engaged.
Well, you also noticed this
ring
season
budget.
There was no Neil Lane. There was a Neil Lane ring. We saw the logo when Spencer opens the ring box to propose to Jess, but Neil Lane did not show up. That was DLP with his plastic briefcase of diamonds.
I'm okay with DLP doing it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a
Neil
purist.
Lane is... I just want him to be safe.
Oh, fuck.
We must protect Neil Lane.
Let's move on to our final number 1 top 10 takeaway from BIP season 10. It is, of course, Scott Teti's first season at the helm. This is Claire Freeland and Bennett Graebner were kind of in charge of the franchise for the past 3 years or so. They were dismissed unceremoniously after allegations of workplace misconduct and toxic workplace environment, all these types of things. And let's not forget just like some of the worst creative decisions that we've seen in the history of the franchise, maybe culminating with the moment where DLP forces Jen Tran to watch back her proposal of Devin Stranger.
DLP forces, come on now.
I mean, I saw him do it on camera.
He is reading a script. They forced it. Claire Freeland. I think we even got the confirmation that she's the one who
she made the
said,
call.
Do it.
That's right. And then he's sitting on that couch and he gets in his earpiece. Claire Freeland going, do it. And then he's
not
like,
making the decision.
Yes, ma'am. I will do anything you say.
Whatever.
I am simply a mindless puppet here to do your bidding. You think that's how it works?
I liked Scott Teti's use of slow-mo going into the rose ceremonies. It's a technique they use on Love Island often. It just makes the players look sexier. Mm-hmm. I loved the chyrons for like each new day in paradise would like come out of the sea. Those are cool.
Of all the things that we're shitting on, I do think the one thing he did very well was update the look of the show. It was in drastic need of that. And I thought he did it very well. I do think the show was shot pretty beautifully. The editing, for the most part, there were a couple little weird things he tried that I don't think worked, but for the most part, it was great. There were some problems with the intros. There were some problems here and there, like how we were talking about presenting the games. But overall,
they photoshopped people's heads into people's hands and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there were just some swings and some misses, but like I don't begrudge him that because this is his first attempt at this. I like to see that he's trying a bunch of different things to see what works. That's fine with me. And I would say like overwhelmingly, it looked good. The visual stuff he was doing, I think worked way more than it didn't. And that does give me some hope for Bachelor 30. I think that season's going to fucking look really good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see. But I just have a lot of reservations about like, does he get what this franchise is? Does he understand who's watching this and why we're watching it? I don't know.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. But we wish him luck.
Yeah, we do. We are Hope Core over here at Gore.
Absolutely. I really want the franchise to get back to where it was, to like reclaim some of its relevance in the reality dating TV format genre, because right now I think of the three big shows, if you want to boil it down like that, Love Island, Love is Blind, Bachelor, it's definitely in last place at this point.
Numerically. In our hearts, perhaps.
I still like Bachelor more than I like Love is Blind, but
Me
I mean,
too.
there ain't no drug on this planet like Love Island. That's some other shit. Very sorry to say it.
Look, I told you. I told you to watch it. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat.
I agree.
Shall we get into our season-long awards?
Let's do it. Who you got?
What was your creature of the season?
I had kind of a tie, I guess. I liked the camping flies that produced a nervous breakdown for Kat.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good moment. But I also liked Keith's fart at the rose ceremony that he blamed on Dale.
Okay. No winner.
It's the flies. It's the flies.
It's the flies.
It's the camp flies. Who was your creature of the season?
Look, I really liked the bird pineapples that they made on Kat Dale's date.
Yeah.
Really cute. But my creature of the season was the dog.
I knew it was going to be the dog.
Win the challenge and dig out the little clues.
Mm-hmm.
That was my creature of the season.
Okay. Moving on to face play of the season. For me, it was Alex. Of course, she was the face queen of this season, I think. And for me, it was when she was flexing her muscles right before they were going to do the physical challenge, the survivor thing where they're grabbing on. She does like kind of an arm flex and does like a lower jaw, bottom teeth exposure, like power frown that I loved. How about you?
During episode 10, day 17, when Andrew and Alex are joking about not being each other's person, Alex also makes a bared teeth funny face play in my face play of the season.
Yeah, she was great.
She had to win. She was doing face play left and right.
I agree.
Jill was also good.
Who was your Jorge Moreno bystander of that season?
I didn't give it my award during the episode, but Dr. Berman, who watches the camping date and silently takes notes without us even knowing who she is for several portions, was my bystander of the season.
Yeah, she was good and probably the most important and most deserving bystander of this award, but not my bystander. I agree.
Classic. She's probably most deserving of this award. Okay. What do you got?
However, for me, there was a clear winner. You see, in the opening credits, which were varied. I mean, they weren't always the same. Sometimes they were
never
jokes.
The same.
Sometimes they were just animals that arbitrarily represented certain players, I guess. But there was one little segment where Bailey Brown is sitting on a boat, a little personal like rowboat type boat on the beach, and an angry beachgoer emerges to scream at her, "Get off my boat!" I imagine. We don't hear it, but that angry boatsman was my Jorge Moreno bystander of the season, sorry.
Wow, deep cut.
Yeah, I cannot get out of my head the image of producers just finding some guy on the beach and being like, "Hey, would you come over real quick and pretend to be mad at her for sitting on your boat?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever.
That'll
sign
be
this
funny.
Release."
And now you're in the credits. Yeah. All right. I thought you were going to go tantric sex spirit guides from Jess and Spencer.
I love me some tantric sex spirit guides. Don't get me wrong, okay? But there's just something about being in the credits, like getting to be a piece of that weird iteration of the Bachelor Paradise credits that I love that guy. So that was mine. Let's move on to error of the season. What do you got, PaceCase?
This was so tough for me. This was the toughest one because you have Gary's bet about Fina being a sex addict. You have Sean recruiting Andrew Spencer against his own roommate.
Yeah.
But for me, the one that really stands out that I think gave the biggest villainization versus the potential they could have gotten was Jeremy calling Susie.
Interesting.
I think the fourth audience completely turned on Jeremy with this and will not support their relationship.
Agreed.
And it could have been this very 4TRR coupling.
Yes.
Yeah, that was mine.
I agree.
What was
that
yours?
was a gigantic error. For me, it was between three. It was between that, Jeremy calling Susie and lying about it and all that shit. Parliament of Paradise. I think that was just a horrible, horrible play. And whatever, they self-eliminated. Maybe they would have gotten voted out. We don't know. But like...
No, we do know. DLP said they would have been voted out.
Oh, right. So I guess it didn't matter in the end. So maybe it wasn't quite as bad of an error because it was like, it at least gives us something to hang their characters on. We'll remember this season for that a little bit. But my error of the season goes to Gary for that bet you're talking about. That got them eliminated. He literally had to do nothing. He could have bet nothing and they still would have been in the show. Making that bonehead play completely unforced, completely unnecessary, got them out of the goddamn show.
And I'm shipping Gary and Fema hard.
Same. All right, moving on. We have two more awards. Play of the season, PaceCase. Who you got?
This was actually another tough one, but Alex's second audience game when she befriends the Goldens to keep them on her side in terms of voting purposes was my play of the season. It came down to a numbers game. Sean knew it. Alex is the one who actually executed the strategy.
Yeah.
And got them into the finals.
Yeah, no, she was great.
What was your play of the season?
I mean, mine's just kind of a traditionalist one, I guess, but I agree with you. That was a good play. I also really like Kathy Swarts' play to conscript the younger players to help keep Keith after he was like, I'm leaving. And she's like, no, you're not, motherfucker. Incredible. Go tell him to stay. Those are great like, plays in terms of the real play of the game. However, this is Bachelor in Paradise. Spencer's proposal to Jess was my play of the season. Of course, it has to be.
What a romantic.
It has to be. It has to be.
No, that was obviously my second up.
He was the only person who said, can you imagine if we wouldn't have had a proposal at the end of the season? What the fuck is that show?
Yeah, I can't imagine. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Me too.
No, he and Jess, despite, maybe not being the most dynamic couple, gave us the love level 4s, gave us the proposal to have some semblance of the old BIP, which was great.
I agree. All right, we got one award left. Who was the most valuable player this season, PaceCase?
Not a tough question for me. Kathy Swarts was my MVP. True star of the season, so hilarious, able to, do the best of any of the Goldens, make it all the way to the finale, even though people had been cutting the throats of the Goldens for the last few episodes. And I mean, her grammar play at the reunion, like just everything she did, I was obsessed with. To me, she was the queen of paradise, Kathy Swarts.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Kathy Swarts was also my MVP. She is, in my opinion, a singular talent. She is the greatest Golden player who has yet come to grace our beloved game.
Yeah.
She has proven that every time she's on camera or microphone. There is not a dead moment with anything she does. She is always elevating the product, never detracting from it, never giving you a reason to cut her out or around her, but instead to cut her in to the show. Give me more of Kathy Swarts because she does everything impeccably well. I want this so bad for her to be the launching pad into a giant reality TV career. And I hope the next season of Traitors is potentially where she winds up. I would love to see her in Traitors. Oh my God,
that would be amazing. I would love to see her as the Golden Bachelorette.
Golden Bachelorette, Kathy Swarts.
Do it, you cowards. Her with the bug paddle, Statue of Liberty, her drinking when she's in the coffin buried, her just everything. Ugh.
And just her basic kind of like persona of taking no shit from anyone ever and always being in control is like, that is a perfect lead. You need to make her the lead of the next Golden Bachelorette if indeed the franchise survives.
Yeah.
But that's it. Congratulations to Kathy Swarts. And thank you, Kathy Swarts. And thank you to all the players of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 for your service, for getting through this season, which was largely experimental. Thank you to Scott Teti for putting this season together. I know we kind of ripped it apart to some degree, but that's all part of the growing pains. I do want it to be said that like what we say about this is meant to be constructive in that there are certain things that should never be done or could be done better or whatever. We love Bachelor. We always will. And we just want to see it rise to what we believe is its rightful position at the top of the mountain of all these reality dating formats. And right now it just ain't there. I mean, that's the objective truth.
No, but I'm hopeful. And this season did give me hope when we were in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
With the casting of Mal Owens.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of a hopeless place, join us for coverage of Golden Bachelor Season 2 starting in a couple of weeks.
Look, I saw they just did like a photo shoot for Golden with the NFL, and it looked good. It looked he looked chiseled.
They got him out there. He's running routes.
He's not running, but he's on the sidelines.
Nice,
looking chiseled.
All right.
Well,
we'll see.
Can't wait for his apology to me personally.
I think he's going to be delivering one virtually immediately in episode 1. So we'll see. Maybe all of our talk about it has had some influence. We shall see. But thanks everybody for joining us. This wraps up our coverage of BIP Season 10, The Experiment. That's what I'm calling it.
The Experiment. The one with the money.
Yeah. Some money. The one with the diminishing amount of money.
Some money. A chance at some of the money.
A chance at one of 3 envelopes that contains an arbitrary amount of money that has nothing to do with the amount we've been talking about the entire season. Call it that.
Praise be, Dark Lord Bomber.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.